morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning. I hope you can hear me loud and clear. If you can hear me loud and clear, please confirm. Confirm you can hear me loud and clear. How are you doing today? How's your trade? Today is Tuesday, the 8th April. I was trading yesterday. Hope you made profits yesterday. And if you made losses, you have the opportunity to recover that loss today. You have the opportunity to recover the loss today. Okay? Losses are inevitable in this business. It's part of the business. If you want to grow in this business, you definitely have some time experience losses, or let me use the word drawdown. Okay, you would experience drawdown in the markets. Can you all hear me? Can you all hear me? Drop a comment if you can hear me. Drop a comment if you can hear me. You're all welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Confirm there is no. How are you doing? So if you have any question, please drop it in the comment section. If you have any question, if there's anything you want us to look at together, please drop it in the comment section. Today, 7th, there are no major news. No major news expected today. So, tomorrow, I think FOMC will be released tomorrow by 7 p.m. Okay, 7 p.m. tomorrow. Then we're expecting news from New Zealand also by 3 a.m. So, every news. Okay, so let's look at what is the strength of the dollar. Is the dollar bullish or bearish? Let's confirm that. Okay, so on DXY, let's start with the daily time frame. So on them you can see yesterday candle closed above the high of this candle. Yesterday candle closed above the high of this candle. Can you see that? Yesterday candle closed above the high of this candle. That tells me demand is higher than supply. That tells me there is more demand for the dollar. Okay, and also you can see we had a previous support here which became a resistance. We had a previous support which became a resistance, and yesterday candle also broke out from that resistance. Can you see that? Okay, can you see that? So we had a support here, and yesterday candle closed above that that resistance area, and I think yesterday, okay, so I think a resistance was created here yesterday on a 4-hour time frame. Resistance was created here. Now on 4-hour time frame, what can you see here? You can see that we had a fair value gap here. The fair value gap was created at this point. You see this? Price pulled back yesterday to fill that fair value gap. I believe you can see that fair value gap, right? You can see the fair value gap that was created here. Price pulled back this morning, filled that fair value gap, and look at the pattern we have on the 4-hour time frame now. Okay, can you see this? This is an engulfing pattern. This is an inverted hammer indicating change in trend from bearish to bullish. You can see that. So after the formation of this inverted hammer on 4-hour time frame, let's see the pattern we had on 1 hour. Let's see the pattern we had on 1 hour. It should be a bullish reversal pattern. So you can see on 1 hour we had, you can see the pattern we had here. It was a bearish candle, and the next candle that closed as an engulfing pattern. You can see it closed as an engulfing pattern, and it's also closed above this resistance that was created here. You can see it closed above it. This tells me that there is more demand for the dollar. So at the moment, my bias for the dollar is bullish for today's market. My bias for the dollar is bullish. So I think the next target for dollar would be this previous high, relative equal high, which is an area of liquidity. I think that will be the next target for the dollar if this is broken successfully. If this high is cleared successfully, I think we have a fair value gap here. You can see this fair value gap here. This fair value gap will be the next target. This fair value gap will be the next target. You can see this fair value gap. That is the gap in between the low of this candle and the high of this candle. That will be the next target for the dollar. Okay, so my bias for dollar today is bullish. It is bullish. I hope that is clear. Okay, so that's my take on GU. Now, if our bias on GU is on DXY is bullish, we cannot buy we cannot buy GBP USD. Are you with me, Victory? If the bias for the dollar is bullish, then we can't go bearish or bullish on GU. I hope you get that. So for us to buy GU, dollar must be weak. But at the moment, the dollar is strong. I hope you're getting me. Okay, so let's go to the chart. So let's look at GU. If there's any instrument you want us to look at, just drop it in the comment section. Let's look at GBP USD. Okay, so you can see what we have on dollar at the moment. What can you see on GU? What can you see on GU? You can see that GU, let's start with the daily time frame. Let's start with the daily time frame. If you have any pair you want us to look at together, please drop it in the comment section. If you have any question, also drop it in the comment section. Now on GU, what can we see here on GU? We can see there's a breakout from this support area. Okay, there's a breakout from this support area. That tells us that GU is bearish. Okay, GU is bearish. Now there is a fair value gap here. I think GU would fill. Okay, this is my target for GU, bearish. Okay, this fair value gap, I think GU would want to fill this fair value gap before going bullish. Okay, so yesterday candle closed strongly bearish. Now after the close of yesterday candle, what pattern do we have on 4 hour? Let's see. After the close of yesterday candle, let's go down to 4 hour. What do we have on 4 hour? You can see the pattern we had on 4 hour. We had an inverted hammer, right? We had an inverted hammer, and the next candle closed what? It closed bullish. Now this morning, also, I want you to see this. Okay. Now, after the formation of this pattern here, you would agree with me, a lot of weighted areas would have executed buy after the formation of this pattern, because we had an inverted hammer and the next candlestick closed bullish. A lot of weighted traders would have executed buy. And where would they have their stop losses? Their stop losses is residing at this previous low. This is relative equal low, which is an area of liquidity. Now, I want you to see this on 4 hour. You can see after the breakout from this support, a fair value gap was created. A fair value gap was created at this point. Can you see this? A fair value gap was created at this point. And what happened this morning? Price pulled back to fill this fair value gap. Can you see that? Price pulled back to fill this fair value gap. And what happened after that fair value gap got filled? What pattern do we have here? Bearish reversal pattern. Go down to lower time frame to see clearly. Let's go down to 1 hour. Let's see the pattern that formed there. You can see the pattern that formed after price. Can you see it? We had an hammer here. Sorry, shooting star. We had a shooting star, and you can see after the formation of the shooting star, what do you have here? Engulfing candle. And you see that we had an engulfing candle. Now, if you look at 1 hour, this is the fair value gap on 1 hour. Can you see it? So it filled the 1 hour fair value gap completely before going bearish. And you can see the pattern that formed here. So at the moment, GU is bearish at the moment. Now price just filled this fair value gap. So if you want to go bullish on GBP USD, you need to wait for a bullish reversal pattern to form on GU before you consider going bullish. But at the moment, the dollar is still very strong. And like I said, they are likely going to come for these equal lows. Okay, technically, they are going to come for these equal lows and most likely would fill this fair value gap below it. That's my take on GBP USD. I hope that is clear. Mr. Luca, good morning. I hope that is clear. So the dollar is still very strong. If you look at the structure we have on, let's say 4 hour, if you look at the structure we have on 4 hour, you would agree with me that what we have here on 4 hour is a bearish structure. It's a bearish structure because price has been disrespecting the lows. Okay, it's disrespecting lows and respecting previous highs. Resistance are being cleared, support are being cleared while resistance are being respected. Okay, so it's a bearish structure. If you go down to 1 hour, you see the structure very clearly. You can see that it's been forming series of lower high and lower low. It has been forming series of lower low and lower high. Okay, I hope you can see that. So if you apply your trend line, you can see. You apply your trend line, you can see that it is bearish. You can see it's been respecting that trend line. I hope you can see that. So it is bearish at the moment. Okay, so let's look at other currency pairs. GU, is there any other pair you want us to look at? Just drop it in the comment section. If there's any other pair you want us to look at, let's look at gold. Gold will be okay. Let's look at gold. Okay, gold. Let's start with the daily time frame. So yesterday also on gold was strongly bearish. Gold was strongly bearish yesterday, and you can see there was a breakout from this support. Okay, there was a breakout from this support. Yesterday candle broke out from this support, and below this support or below this liquidity, which is this relative equal low, you can see we had a fair value gap was created at this point. And I think gold is likely going to come fill this fair value gap. Gold is likely going to come fill this fair value gap. It tested it yesterday, but it didn't fill it completely. You can see it tested it yesterday. Yesterday candle tested that zone, but it didn't fill it completely. So after the close of yesterday candle, let's see the pattern we had on 4 hour. Let's see the pattern we had on 4 hour. So you can see the pattern we had on 4 hour. Can you see what we had on 4 hour? There was a breakout from this support that was created on 4 hour. Can you see that? This candlestick broke out from it. And the last candle that formed on 4 hour yesterday formed, this is an hammer, right? Indicating change in trend from bearish to bullish. A lot of retail traders would have executed buy after the formation of that hammer. Those that are smart would have taken some profits on this trade. Those who are greedy might still be holding on to this trade, and their stop losses will be residing at this low. So there's a high probability they will come for the liquidity residing at this low. And also, what can you see on 4 hour? You can see that a fair value gap was created yesterday before this breakout. Can you see that? Can you see this fair value gap be created? I hope you guys can hear me. So you can see we had, you can see this fair value gap that was created here. Let's go down to 1 hour. Hold on. You see the fair value gap it created. So you can see on 4 hour, this is the fair value gap on 4 hour. This is the fair value gap on 4 hour. This is the fair value gap it created on 4 hour, and that gap has been filled. Let's go down to 1 hour. So on 1 hour, I think we had let's see 15 minutes. Okay, let's see 15 minutes. So on 15 minutes, I think we have a fair value gap here on 15 minutes. So you can see it's just filled the fair value gap on. We have a fair value gap here on 15 minutes. Just check that. Okay. So you can see on 5 minutes, you can see we had a tiny small fair value gap here. Can you see that? Can you see this gap? The gap in between the low of this candle and the high of this candle, and I think that's the reason for the pullback. So you can see price pulled back into that zone this morning. Can you see that? The price pulled back into that zone this morning, and you can see there's a strong rejection from that level. You can see the bullish momentum wasn't that high. Can you see that the bullish momentum was very low? Look at this, the body of the candles from this point to this point. Look at the bodies, very small, weak candles. Weak candle, that tells you that the momentum isn't strong. The bullish momentum is not strong. And see, price just tested this fair value gap, and there is a strong rejection. So there's a high probability gold is coming for this low, and most likely will fill this fair value gap. That's my take on gold. I hope that is clear. My bias on gold today is bearish. It is bearish, but if price breaks out from this resistance, then we expect more bullish move on gold. If price 1 hour or 4 hour candle closes above this resistance, then gold is likely going to buy from that area. But at the moment, it is bearish. Gold is bearish. Okay, let's look at GJ. GBP. Good morning, Williams. How are you doing? GBP, JPY. Okay, GBP, JPY. Let's start with the daily time frame. Okay, so yesterday candle closed strongly bullish. Yeah, it closed strongly bullish yesterday, and after the close of yesterday, let's see the pattern we had on 1 hour time frame. Sorry, 4 hour. Let's see after yesterday, the close of yesterday candle. Let's see the pattern on 4 hour. So you can see what we had on 4 hour yesterday. So on 4 hour, you can see we had a fair value gap here on 4 hour. I believe you can see the fair value gap. So yesterday, price pulled back and it filled, I think it filled the fair value gap here. And you can see the pattern that formed after the fair value gap got filled. We had bearish reversal pattern. Can you see that? Can you see the pattern that formed after the gap got filled? Bearish reversal pattern. You can see that. And a support was created at the early hours of today. I think this was the first candle for today. A support was created, and you can see the market is trading below that support. Can you see that? Which indicates high supply than demand. There's more supply than demand. Now, after the formation of this pattern here, let's go down to lower time frame. It could be that a fair value gap was created, and that was the reason for this pullback. Let's go to lower time frame. That could be the reason for the pullback. Let's see. Let's just confirm that. Let's go down to 15 minutes. So on 15 minutes, we had a fair value gap here. Can you see this fair value gap? We had a fair value gap here. So this could also be the reason for the pullback. Okay, the high of this candle, which is an area of liquidity, and also this fair value gap, that could be the reason for this pullback. So you can see price went into a range yesterday, I think towards the evening, from this point, okay, to this point. So we had resistance and we had support. So there was a breakout from this support area, as you can see. So I think GJ is bearish at the moment. Okay, it is bearish at the moment. If you are considering buying GJ, wait for a bullish reversal pattern to form on 4 hour time frame. Wait for a bullish reversal pattern to form on a 4 hour time frame. before you take a buy on GJ. But at the moment, GJ is still bearish. GJ is still bearish. I hope that is clear. I think GJ and GU are positively correlated. I think 60% to 70% of the time they move in the same direction. 60 to 70% of the time, GJ and GU move in the same direction. So that's my take on GJ. GJ is what is bearish at the moment. GJ is bearish at the moment. I hope that is clear. Do you have any question or you have any instrument you want us to look at together? Please drop it in the comment section. If you have any question or instrument you want us to look at, please drop it in the comment section. Okay, let's look at Euro USD. Euro USD. Okay, Euro USD is bearish. I took a sell on Euro USD this morning and I think it's in profit right now. I took a sell on Euro USD this morning and I think it's in profit. Let me see that on Euro USD so you can see. Here is the trade here on Euro USD. I took a sell Euro USD. Okay, the trade must have its take profit, yeah. It must have its take profit. It must have its take profit, yes. It has its take profit. It has its take profit. Let me see, where is the trade? Where is the trade? Where is the trade? Let me go to, let me just show you. I think you can see. Okay, this is the, I think this is the trade. Can you see the trade? This is the trade. This is the trade, Euro USD. You can see, this is the trade. These two trades I executed these two trades today. 0.05, 0.05. These two, that's about 30 something pips. You can see that. Okay, so that is it. Euro USD is still bearish. Like I told you, dollar is still strong, still bearish. So let's start with the daily time frame. Let's start with the daily time frame. Daily time frame. Okay. So what do we have here on the daily time frame? Yesterday candle closed as an inverted hammer. So after the close of yesterday candle, let's go down to lower time frame. Yes, Bobo, Daddy is in class. How are you? I'm coming. Don't worry, I'm coming. I will soon be done, okay? Just calm down. Daddy will soon be done. Okay, so so what do we have here on after the close of yesterday candle? This is what we had on 4-hour time frame. Last candle on 4-hour closed strongly bearish, and the next candle after it closed bullish. I think price had to pull back this morning. Now, going by the structure or pattern we have on 4-hour, you can see at first this bearish candlestick closed below the support. It closed below the support, and also it closed below the low of this candle, this last bullish candle. This is what confirms that there are more supply than demand. Okay, you can see this candlestick closed below the support that was created here, and it's also closed below the low of this last bullish candle before this bearish move. Okay, so this tells me there is more supply than demand. Okay, so it's also created a support here. You can see price pulled back, broke out. Sorry, it broke out from this support. That confirms more sell. Now you can see yesterday there was a pullback. Probably we had a fair value gap, and also this area was an area of liquidity. So what they did yesterday was to clear liquidity residing at this previous high, and it could be that we had a fair value gap that was created. Let's just see on 1 hour. So on 1 hour, let's see. 15 minutes. So actually all the fair value gap has been filled, you can see. So I think the pullback was to clear the liquidity residing at this previous high. And let's just see 5 minutes. Let's see 5 minutes. I think there's a fair value gap. So okay, so this is 5 minutes. On 5 minutes, do we have a fair value gap here? Okay, there's a fair value gap here on 5 minutes. Let's see this fair value gap. Let's see. Let's go back to 1 hour. Let's see. That could be the reason for the pullback. Let's just confirm that. Okay, so this is the fair value gap on. So price actually didn't fill that fair value gap on 5 minutes time frame. Okay, you can see there was a strong pullback, and after the pullback, you can see the candlestick that formed. It's a shooting star. It's a shooting star. So this would have been a good entry for bearish Euro USD. Bearish Euro USD. Okay, bearish. I told you guys yesterday I took a buy on Euro USD and it closed at break even. I didn't make profit on this on buy yesterday. Okay, I adjusted my stop loss to entry and the price pulled back and it's my SL at break even, which I'm cool with. Okay, so far today I've made profit, good profit on Euro USD. So Euro USD I think is still bearish, and this could be the next target for Euro USD. Okay, you can see this low, these lows, this relative equal low, these lows are areas of liquidity. So they are likely going to clear those liquidity and also fill this fair value gap. So this will be the next target for Euro USD. I hope that is clear. This will be the next target for Euro USD. Please, if you're yet to give the video a thumbs up, please do that right now. Give it a thumbs up. If this is your first time participating on this live stream, please subscribe to the channel so that anytime I come on live, you get notified by YouTube. We've got so much value, okay, to access on this channel. So much value, so much value. Okay, so that's my take on Euro USD. Euro USD is likely going to come to fill this fair value gap before going bullish. I hope that is clear. I hope that is clear. Is there any other instrument you want us to look at? Olaiton Amushan, how are you doing? It's been a while. Hope you're fine. Is there any other instrument you want us to look at? Let me know in the comment section. Let me know in the comment section. I think we've looked at all the major currency pairs. Okay, let's look at USD JPY. Let's look at USD JPY. USD JPY. Okay, so USD JPY, let's start with the daily time frame. You can see yesterday candle closed strongly bullish. Yesterday candle closed strongly bullish. And if you go back, I think price has filled this fair value gap, I think. Let's see. Can you see that? So this pullback was to fill this fair value gap, and that fair value gap was filled completely. Can you see that? So price has filled the fair value gap, and what pattern formed there? We had what looks like an hammer here, and yesterday candle also closed strongly bullish, and it closed above the high of this was on Friday candle. It closed above the high of that candle. That indicates strong demand. Okay, that indicates strong demand. So after the close of yesterday candle, what pattern do we have on 4 hour? Let's see the pattern. This pullback we are seeing in the market right now, I think it's trying to fill a fair value gap that was created yesterday. Let's confirm that on 4 hour. So you can see on 4 hour, we had a fair value gap here. On 4 hour, you can see we had a fair value gap here on 4 hour. We had a fair value gap here. You can see. So this pullback would just be to fill this fair value gap. We also have a fair value gap here too. Can you see that fair value gap? We also had, and I think it has filled this fair value gap. And you can see the pattern that formed the previous 4-hour looks like an hammer, but it's a bearish hammer. If the current 4-hour candle closes bullish, that will be a confirmation for buy. If the current 4-hour closes bullish, that will be a confirmation for buy. Okay, so let's go down to now on 4-hour. You can see we have a fair value gap here. So you can see this fair value gap. So it's likely USD/JPY would fill this fair value gap. It is likely USD/JPY will fill this fair value gap before going bearish. Okay, so I think at the moment USD/JPY is bullish. Let's see what we have on 1-hour time frame. Let's see if we could find reasons why price would not come to fill this fair value gap on 4-hour. Let's go down to 1 hour. So you can see this. Okay, so you can see here we had a resistance which became a support. So that could be the reason price would not get to this fair value gap. You can see the pattern we had here. This is an hammer, so most likely price will not come to fill this fair value gap on 1 hour and 4 hour, because we have a key support level here, the resistance turned support, and after price tested that zone, you can see a bullish reversal pattern formed. So if I'm to take a buy trade on USD/JPY, I want to wait for price to close above the high of this last bearish candle before this hammer. That will be a strong confirmation. I want to wait for 15-minute candle to close above this high before buying USD/JPY. And if I'm buying from this point, my stop loss will be the low of this candle, and my risk reward will be at least 1 to 2. I hope that is clear. So that's my take on USD/JPY. Let's see USD/CHF. We are considering selling GBP USD, Euro USD, USD/CHF should be bullish. But let's just see the chart. USD/CHF should be bullish. Let's start with the daily. So you can see the pattern we have here is similar to what we saw on UJ. You can see that. So Friday candle closed as an hammer. Closed as an hammer. Price had to pull back yesterday. I'm sure what they went for yesterday was the liquidity. They know a lot of people would have placed a buy order after the formation of this hammer, right? That's what we're being taught, that once we see hammer, we should buy. So they know a lot of traders would have bought, and their stop losses would have been at this low or a few pips below the low of this candle. So the first thing they did yesterday was to go for those stop losses before going bullish. That was what played out on USD/CHF yesterday. So let's go down to 4 hour. After the close of yesterday, what pattern do we have? So you can see on 4 hour, we had this. You can see we had an hammer here. And the next candlestick closed above the high of that hammer, which indicates or confirms more buys than sell, more demand than supply, right? More demand than supply. So after this push up, I think let's see, probably a fair value gap was created around this area. That could be the reason for this pullback. Let's just confirm that. Let's go to 1 hour. So if you go down to 1 hour, you can see we had a fair value gap here, and this could be the reason for a pullback. Can you see this fair value gap? Can you see the fair value gap? Price filled that fair value gap, and after filling that fair value gap, what pattern do we have here? This is an engulfing pattern. You can see a resistance was created here, and also this candlestick broke out from that resistance area. Can you see that? And also we had this is a breaker block. Can you see? This is a breaker block. So that could be the reason price, as you can see, we still have a fair value gap here. Okay, we still have a fair value gap here, but because we have a breaker block here, price might not come to fill this fair value gap because of this breaker block. We have a breaker block here. You can see that. So Price might not come to fill this fair value gap below the breakout block. Okay, in order of importance when trading this PDRs, I think breakout block comes before fair value gap, right? ICT traders, breakout block, I think is after mitigation breaker. Okay, so now after the formation of this engulfing candle on USD CHF, most likely a fair value gap was created and price is trying to fill that fair value gap. Let's confirm that on 15 minutes. I'm sure it's created a fair value gap, so price is likely going to fill. You can see the fair value gap it's created here. It's created a fair value gap here, and this fair value gap is at a discount area. If you apply your Fibonacci from this swing low to swing high, this will be discount. This will be discount. Okay, so most likely to come fill this fair value gap. Also, you would see we have this is a breaker block. This is a breaker block. You can see this bearish move was used to clear liquidity residing at this previous low. So this is a breaker block. Okay, this is a breaker block. So you can see price has tested this breaker block and price can take off from that. You can see price can take off from that zone, from that level. Price can take off from that. Okay, price could take off from that level. So if a bullish reversal pattern forms on 1 hour or 4-hour time frame, then you should consider going bullish on USD CHF. You should consider going bullish on USD CHF. Technically, there are no fundamentals today. Okay, no fundamentals today. Let's so if you are buying, you can see on 1 hour. If you are buying, you can see this level. This could be the next target for USD CHF. Okay, this will be the next target for USD CHF. This is an area of liquidity. Before Friday, I'm sure this high will be cleared before Friday. This high will be cleared. It's either FOMC will be used to clear this high, or CPI will be used to clear this high. That's my expectation on USD CHF. Okay, that's my expectation on USD CHF. And you can see we have a lot of fair value gaps, liquidity voids, okay, on USD CHF that needs to be filled. You can see. So my weekly bias on USD CHF is bullish. On GBP USD, Euro USD, my weekly bias is bearish. It's bearish. You have any question, let me know in the comment section. If you're yet to like this stream, please give it a thumbs up, so that others can get to see this video. Any question? Do you have any question? Is there another instrument you want us to look at? Let me know in the comment section. Please try and close your trade. If you're a day trader, close your trade before 4-5 p.m. You guys see what happened on at the open of the market this week. You saw what happened. A lot of people's accounts got blown as a result of that gap, that opening gap. A lot of people got their account blown as a result of that opening gap. And that's the reason I don't carry trades over the weekend. You could even experience that on a daily basis. Sometimes they are opening daily opening gaps. Sometimes, you understand, but those kind of huge gap, you experience it when markets opens on Monday or Sunday. Those huge gaps, okay. But sometimes you could also experience it on a daily. That is, if you carry your trade over night, you could wake up and the market just gaps and it will just blow your account or eat your stop loss. That's why I don't like carrying trade over the weekend. That's the risk of carrying trade over the weekend. A lot of people got their accounts blown. Okay, so take note of that. We learn every day. Most of you have not experienced that. That's your first time experiencing that kind of huge gap. Okay, so I believe a lot of you have learned from that. You have learned from that. Some of you are wondering why I don't like carrying trades over the weekend. It's because of the risk. Okay, because of the risk. Any question? Do you have any question? Let me know in the comment section. If you have any question, let me know in the comment section. Any question, let me know. Do you have any question? Does anyone trade on Euro Australian dollar? Does anyone trade Euro Australian dollar? Let's see, Euro Australian dollar. Euro Australian dollar. I was expecting Euro Australian dollar to sell. It actually sold yesterday, and after some time, it's changed direction from bearish to bullish. So I think it is still bearish. Yeah, it is still bearish. It is still bearish. Let's go down to 4 hour. So I think it's still bullish. Let's see. The trend here is not. I think it's still bullish at the moment. Okay, for today's market, I think it's still bullish. You can see we had a support here. Price just tested this support, and we had a fair value gap here. This is the 4 hour time frame. We had a fair value gap here. I'm not too sure, but okay, so we had the support here. Price tested the support this morning, and there's a rejection. Let's see what we have on 1 hour. So you can see the previous 1 hour candle, and see the previous 1 hour candle closed as an inverted hammer, 1 hour, and the current 1 hour candle is likely going to close above the high of this candle. It's likely going to close above the high of this candle. If it closes above the high of this candle, then Euro Aussie might come to fill this fair value gap it created here. It might come fill this fair value gap. That's my expectation on Euro Aussie for today's market. That's my expectation. If it closes above this high, then it's likely going to come and fill this fair value gap. That's my expectation on Euro Aussie. Okay, let's see what's happening on 15 minutes. Let's see. Okay. So this is a bullish pattern. You can see price is currently trading above this resistance and also this resistance. You can see also it was a support stone resistance. So this tells me there's more supply than demand. This tells me there's more supply than demand. Okay, so at the moment, Euro Aussie is bullish. It is bullish. It is bullish. So it's most likely going to come through this fair value gap. That's my take on Euro Australian dollar. I hope that is clear. Are you still in the class? Are you still in the class? Drop a comment if you're still in the class. Drop a comment. Are you still here? Do you have any question? Do you have any question? Any question? So it appears there are no questions. So that will be all for today's session. I appreciate you all for your participation. Our next class will be tomorrow. Tomorrow is Wednesday. Okay, tomorrow is Wednesday and it's FOMC day. So we might connect. Okay, FOMC is in the evening. Okay, so we'll see if we can find some good setup in London session. And see if we can find a good setup in London session, then can make some money before NFP, FOMC. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you very much for your participation. I wish you all a profitable trading day. Bye for now.